collapse onto it, but looks like we're going to about go live here, so welcome to Blackout Gaming TV. Here we're casting It's All Good versus Highpander. I remember team names. I'm that good as we get going out here. As we have the engineer, always so exciting. Where is he going to set up is the question as always.
And just to reiterate, Highpander is on red and It's All Good is going to be on blue here, just coming out. Looking like she's gonna just go for a pretty standard setup. Sentry's gonna be a little bit to the left. A lot of the times, last week when I was casting Stacked versus Chess Club, they had it right on the edge so that it would watch the exit of tunnels too. But the Sentry's going for something a little bit more passive.
Let's see what the angle on that is. I mean, it does cover the car. I mean, I guess that's the good part about it is that it does cover a little bit around the rock. You will be able to be spammed by just trying to see the sight lines on it. It doesn't cover it completely when you come out of the tunnel, but it also takes away a little bit of the closeness to spam. Like it's not going to be as easy to spam it from below. So we're going to see coming out here. Let's see what happens with the suicides. Let's get on the demo man camp from blue here. Anything's going to happen. They're just pushing out right away, and they're actually building up level 1 gun. I don't know if I agree with that as the engineer, so we'll kind of see how Lenny plays with that. As the demo man's opting just to wait and spawn here, as he actually knows he's about to bomb out. He's getting ready for it, probably waiting for the call.
Gun's up to level 2 right here, still going uncontested.
And here comes the bomb in, and getting spammed down onto the gun. It's getting Rescue Ranger. There's nothing going on there. And the medic's actually not even holding close. He's actually holding down in tunnel. I kind of like that idea out of a Highpander. They're not even having the medic on the cliffside, so they can't even get spammed out. Gun's being upgraded to continue to be upgraded. I can't say I've ever seen a level 3 on offense. So, again, I'm just very curious to see how this goes.
It is interesting. It's seeming to buy them this yard area, if only slightly, so that their combo can move out just a little bit. Not sure how I feel about it right now, though, as its offensive capabilities are pretty limited because you can't move it up all that fast. But we are watching a pretty solid and standard defense here from Highpander. They're making sure not to give up anything to suicides, no picks, nothing big. So we're just watching a pretty standard first take, aside from the level 3, of course.
And did the medic? Oh, the medic did go down there. I didn't see. I must have. That was he dropped. Where did he? Yeah. So that was my fault. That fanning from a headshot. Okay. Uber comes in here actually over the top. Soldier bombing in on the gun. It's being Rescue Ranger. Engineer falls off the cliff. Gun being spammed down. It finally gets Rescue Rangered away. Engineer running around the corner as they're just getting bullied out of here as Zoob tries to bomb in on top of the soldier, but the gun is actually up on top of the garage. It's going to start putting out damage right now as it takes out one right there, taking out Lenny. As Lenny's going to take out Sheepy in the backfield, it's going to be spammed out by the soldier, but just getting a little bit of reflex. It's just about getting dead, and they're
They're holding on to the spawn.
Yeah.
Gun does go down now, though, so we're probably going to watch Noonpander. I'm sorry if I butchered your name there, falling back. He might go for a second hold, he might not. That's, like we said, up for debate.
Yeah, so it looks like they're actually opting to hold this first point, and I really like that aggression out of the team. Take what they're giving you, and right now they are giving you this first point. The medic actually went down in that exchange there for It's All Good, so you have that big Uber advantage. You're at 100% Uber. Medic is down to actually 40 HP right there, but he's going to stay alive, holding down in that garage area. Kind of, again, really interesting angle to kind of hold there. Not going to get a lot of bombs, and as the gun comes up here back to a level 2 and should be up to level 3, and seeing a really good hold, and actually only 1:50 left on the clock, so it's all good. Starting to get a little bit scary here. They don't have a lot of time.
When they didn't take down the dispenser or the telly, the NG saw that and he said, you know, I can move back in. And the team as a whole, they chose to just stay, and it's working right now. You're seeing a lot of aggressive holds right here, and the hold looking like it's about to break right now as teams are being forced a little bit back into second.
Yeah, Fool was actually forced there to pop his Uber on Hildreth. They weren't able to really get any kills out of it, and they dropped 3 players, and they opted just to pull back, have a better second hold. Let's see if they're actually going to push onto the roof right now. The engineer is actually on roof. The combo is holding on roof as well, so they are going to go for a full roof hold, though they are 30% down. Tons on cart. So let's see how It's All Good is planning to push. It's actually gonna push potentially straight through as the soldier's bombing onto the roof, getting some damage done on the engineer. Level 1 is up. It is taking a lot of heat. The Rescue Ranger is doing everything it can. Soldier coming back on Mookie onto the demo man, takes down Hildreth. Gun is down. That is some nice picks right there. As 80 Fool is at 90% right now. I'm sorry, might be able to pop back onto the car was Uber was used by It's All Good, but the Demo Man is going to cap this car, just putting down the time. Uber is popped down onto the car. Joe's going to go down here, but they got the cap. It doesn't matter. And they're going to be able to take that nice and easy.
That was a very fast move off of aggression right there, and we saw, like we said, that the second point can be a risky hold because something like that can happen where they just get it off the aggression and you're not really able to stop it. They just popped in Uber, they got the point, and that's all they wanted. Even if they lost a lot of moves, they moved the spawns back and they forced them out to third. So we're going to watch a third setup here from Highpander.
I feel like I see a mini-sentry, they have a mini-sentry behind them. Engineer Lenny got behind the team. I'm trying to find a teleporter here. I guess they might have had Lenny might actually have had a teleporter back there, but he's down. All of that is down as they're starting to get their hold onto third here. Below is only at about a 30% disadvantage, but there is no gun up right now. I should say it's level 1, which in the window is not really going to do anything. And I think it would really behoove them to push, like get a little bit more aggressive. I know they're at an Uber disadvantage, but just try to get a little bit of ground out of this or something. Try to make that engineer at least a little bit uncomfortable when he's trying to build that gun, because they are going to be at even Ubers here, but with that level 3 up in the window, that's going to put them at significant disadvantage unless they deal with it right away.
Now that the sentry is level 3, they have a little bit less time. They're not allowed to be as aggressive, but when the sentry isn't level 3, there's that little bit of lull where people are able to peek, try and get picks, or just delay it as much as they can, and that's definitely something they should have considered doing, because it helps a lot when pushing this point.
Inso just headshot Fool. I believe that was a double headshot onto Fool, dropping the Uber actually as It's All Good is pushing in here. Uber pop. Gun does not actually go down, but Lenny's actually trying to push up, going 1v1 Skin Scout on there, but he gets taken out. Cart is being slowly pushed up, but the gun is still up, putting down tons of damage down onto the cart. As Lazy Bear trying to push up, he's going to get taken out by the gun. He's opting just to fall back as Heavy just spamming it from long range, but he's not going to beat that Rescue Ranger. As they are just trying to get some cart time, as Fool is just back up, getting about 30%. But they have no Demo Man to be able to spam the cart. But with this level 3, I don't think they're going to be able to take this. And down goes the Heavy on the cart. Demo Man's getting caught in here. Joe goes down. And looks like there's... Oh, Below's down to 9 HP. Wow, he barely got out right there. Running away. And they're going to be a little bit behind or equal on Ubers. But it just shows you how important that gun needs to be taken down. Even if you drop the medic, that's not good enough. You have to take down the gun as well.
We definitely did see the power of it right there. When they pushed in the Uber, they might have popped it a little bit early, but they started going for picks, and they got them, but by the time they got all of their picks, the Uber was wearing off and their medic was backing out, and they weren't able to get the gun because they just didn't have the damage and they didn't have the invulnerability. The Rescue Ranger is just extremely strong on this point.
So I'm trying to
we are going to watch another Uber being pushed in.
Yeah, so Uber's exchanged here. Highpander getting a little bit of the better of it. A lot of damage coming down onto the gun, and gun does actually go down. Looks like the engineer was... Can't tell if he actually went down prior to that gun going down, but it doesn't matter. They're actually going to have to give up third here. They're down 2 people to blue right now, as the sniper with the Huntsman is actually going to cap this cart. As the spy is coming down onto the cart. And really nice, solid push there. Did exactly what they need to do. Focus the gun, focus the players. And they're going to capture this nice and easy. But at a 7-minute time, they don't have a lot of time to waste here, because this might end up being like a 9-10 minute time if they're not quick about this. And with the Uber advantage going to Highpander on defense, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty bad time that they're ultimately going to have to put it up here.
They're definitely going to need to try and make a pick happen or something very soon, because as Bulow's Uber goes up, they want to have a pick ready for the second he gets it so that they can push in and at least get as much of a solid time as they can out of the 7 minutes they've already exhausted.
Joe getting incredibly aggressive here, taking a nice pill on Hill, just taking him down, taking a lot of that firepower away from being able to spam through main. As a combo actually just holding here, Pyro going crazy, non-stop flames around the cart. He actually is going to go get a little bit aggressive on cart, could be reflecting some spam. Uber gets forced out on the medic, or decide to pop here as they try to get aggressive with the Pyro and Heavy, but they're not getting any real kills here. As it looks like getting a little bit of spam from behind, but I take that back because everybody died, but it didn't look like anybody from the Uber. I think it's mostly the flanks that took that stuff out.
But we did see a lot of It's All Good go down right there. Medic still holding on to that Uber charge, though, at 90% right now and still building. So we're probably going to look at a push come on if It's All Good once they get their spawns and get into position to move up. However, Highpander is holding extremely aggressively right now around this corner. Looking like they're going to fall back, though.
Yeah, so they have uber advantage here right now. It's about 20-30%, so they need to get aggressive right now. It's all good. They cannot wait on this. They cannot. Here they go. Uber's in. Joe is pushing in. Heavy around the corner. Actually, Medic is kind of close. I'm sorry, the Muki's coming in, bombing on the Soldier, takes down Fool with the help of the Heavy. Heavy now versus Pyro. Pyro takes down the Heavy on defense. Only 4 up here. And Pyro's getting very aggressive on Joe right, but he's going to be taken out. Only 3 up. And they are weak on defense there. Spy gets taken out, only 2 up. Engineer and Soldier. Now it's just Engineer. He's going to get backstabbed. Gun sap. That is a complete wipe with 3 respawns up. Cart is being pushed here. Only 3 up. Demo Man and Medic actually coming down, spamming the cart. That's exactly the classes you want to have respawn. And Fanny trying to get some damage down. Trying to get that kill, but not going to be able to do it. Pyro jumping in on the cart. Heavy on the cart. Getting some last minute kills. Scout on the cart. Demo Man on the cart. Oh my gosh. There's no way they can hold this. Here comes the Soldier bombing down on the cart. Gets a kill on the Heavy Man. They are holding on to this. I mean, this is when it comes down to this. It's about seconds, and they just picked up at least 20 more. Let's see how much more they can hold this.
It's all good getting forced back there right as the right respawns came up just in time. The Demo spamming down got enough kills for the Pyro and the Heavy to jump down and make room. It is looking like It's All Good's going to push it in, though, but that was a solid 30-40 second delay out there by Highpander, and that is a lot of time.
And, no, okay, good. Sometimes I lag out here. I'm always worried that the game's crashing.
It always gives me the auto disconnect, too.
Alright, so 10 minutes and 14 seconds. To me, that's a pretty bad, like, that's not like a horrible time, but it's definitely, it's not a good one. It's pretty bad. Gives you a lot of flexibility, to get through a lot of failed pushes you can get, especially when it comes to that third round. It's going to give you a lot of flexibility for that. I don't know. What are you feeling about this? Do you think that Highpander is going to take this first round?
It's definitely not a solid time. You really need to put up a strong defense. If you were on offense and you got 10 minutes, you need to try and milk a lot of time out of each of the points, and sometimes it's just not possible. So we're going to need to see a very, very tight and like well-executed defense here if we want to see It's All Good take this point.
So It's All Good, kind of Lenny here opting to do more of the kind of one of the traditional holds where it's much more aggressive on the cliffside, shoots you down right as soon as you come out the tunnel here. But I'm going to actually get on the Demo Man cam for Hildreth and see what kind of bomb he's going to do out the gate here as he's kind of waiting for people to get in position.
Alright, we're watching just a pretty typical standoff right here on Badwater first until some sort of bomb or pick is made.
Yeah, just opting, he takes a little bit of spam there, but yeah, just kind of, that first bomb is always one of the most important ones, trying to get the medic, but the medic is nowhere to be found.
Does go down. Bulo does go down there for It's All Good, so they are going to drop there.
Where did Zoob take him out from?
I'm not entirely sure, I didn't see his positioning there.
But yeah, that was a drop by below right there. A lot down, but they're going to be able to re-push Highpander right here, as they're still holding on the cliff. Medic actually just respawns.
Engie does go down too, though, and as well as his sentry, this is looking very good for Highpander if they want to push in with no sentry on defense.
So Fanny actually has a really nice angle. The medic does not pop early, coming around the corner here. But they're actually just pushing lower. Fool actually still hasn't even come out of spawn, really. Playing it really conservatively, as I guess he doesn't have to with Highpander taking so much ground for free.
They are going to leave the telly up, though, behind them. Interested to see if any of the flanking classes decide to use it. No, it is going to be taken out right now by the Soldier from Highpander. And that was a very solid first take. That was fast. It was well done, and you didn't lose many players doing it.
And It's All Good, just doing kind of the passive second hold. Uber actually popped in here, which is good for them. They have about a 90% advantage out of this, and they're going to lose no players. I mean, they lost second point, but they were never going to hold it in the first place. So that is actually probably the best thing that could have happened for It's All Good here, as they're going to have the Uber advantage. The only problem when you have this Uber advantage on the third point, it can be hard to push aggressively with it if you want to try to get a pick out of it. As actually, no, the Heavy did not go down there. But yeah, so we can see here how they're actually going to hold on to his Below's just holding on to his 100%. Hopefully will not drop on this point. As trying to get some snipes down from that cart area. He'll just goes down there to Joe, and Zoo goes down there for bomb, and just a lot of players going down as they're just trying to do the little suicide wave, try to get a force pop or something.
And they weren't able to do it, so it's looking like this is definitely going to be a good setup for a solid hold out of It's All Good. Sentry's going to be hitting level 3 right about now, Medic has full Uber, and right now, Highpander's just on the back burner, trying to get their respawns and trying to get their Uber builds.
And Solid goes down there behind enemy lines, Fanny trying to get a snipe on the other sniper, but he's going to keep alive here. As it's just kind of, now it's just kind of that waiting game. Uber is going to be popped in here shortly. Here comes on the Demo Man, he's focusing. He's actually going to be air blasted back, as now the Uber is actually on the Pyro, who's just going to actually run up the stairs. He's going to be on the gun shortly. Here it comes. DC is getting spammed out by the demo, and Joe gets a little bit caught out there. Joe takes him down. Sorry, they're getting caught out there. And actually, the medic went down there. Fool goes down in that exchange as below.
Sentry does go down to a wrangled mini though, so that is a good cue right now for Highpander to push in with the Sentry down. Not looking like they're going to do it. They did lose a lot of players in that, so they might not have the number of people to back that up. But now they're going to start pushing people in.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that Joe's not up right now to be able to put that spam around the corner, and It's All Good is holding very passively around the corner, not as aggressively as they could have. And even though they have the Uber advantage, the mech actually is a little bit caught in here, 80%, and only the Pyro up to be able to defend him right now, and that is a third take, and that's how good. Oh, there's the Pyro coming in on the medic. Oh, getting air blast and just barely stays alive there. Very good flank there. Almost got it, Steve, but he's going to keep up, and that Uber advantage is still going to be in the favor of It's All Good.
And right now, It's All Good have got to be feeling the pressure with 6 minutes on the clock, and they're still defending last. And they got pushed back very fast. That was 4 minutes all the way to the 4th point entrance right here.
It's All Good actually opting to get really aggressive with her. The new mech was close to try to get it, but Steve was right there to air blast them back, stop them from getting any aggression. And Joe actually almost got caught in there by Sheepy, the scout, but he's going to get taken down. And now they're at a significant Uber disadvantage. If you're going to push out aggressively with that Uber, you have to kill the medic. That is rule number 1, and they were not able to do it there. And now with 5 minutes left on the clock, Uber advantage against them. They're pushing everybody on the cart. They don't really have a numbers advantage here, but they have the height advantage. Level 3 Sentry up top, kind of surprising them. Uber gets forced here. Hildreth actually goes down the exchange. Air blast coming out onto the cart. Gun getting a lot of spam down on the cart. Nobody has really been shooting this gun. Heavy taking a lot of damage. He's finally getting taken down. Soldier coming around. Zoop trying to get some spam on the cart, but the Rescue Ranger is doing its job, keeping that gun up, and that push really should not have failed as much as it did, but that's exactly what happened, as Below has 100 Uber advantage. They were thinking about getting aggressive again. As a scout was coming around the corner there, Lazybear trying to get something down on the medic, but isn't able to get anything, as Fool is down to 80 HP.
Soldier is going to bomb the medic, and he does drop Bulu right there, so very nice play out of Zoop right there.
Did you see, did Zoop come out of the tires area?
He jumped out of tires, yeah.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you don't have that tires control. It gives you a lot of flexibility to your flank classes to kind of get that surprise, as Joe gets a nice pill on Hildreth trying to push through here. Scout and Pyro forget that the Sentry is right there, taking a lot of damage from that around the corner. But it looks like Fool is not healing anybody right now. He must have went down as well, so actually it's going to be about even Ubers there.
And that was a surprising push right there. The Sentry definitely caught them off guard, and I'm not sure if they were entirely able to call its exact position, because no one was really shooting in its general direction. They were more concerned trying to get picks around them, and the Sentry ended up doing a lot of damage and a lot of work, and the push ultimately failed. We are going to watch Highpander, though, push back in right now. Looking like a pretty slow take, though.
Yeah, they're just kind of doing a soft push. They know each team does not have Uber, but here comes... Oh, they're actually about to get flanked really hard. Actually, it's a quick fix. Was that a... Trying to tell, is that a quick fix?
Conjurer.
That's a Conk. Okay, that's what it was. Trying to figure what it was, but they just got completely flanked there and decimated, losing 7 players.
On Highpander there at the end.
Basically, they tried to push down the ramp, and they pulled back up, and then they were flanked from the ramp, and they had nowhere to back up from that. Gun placement is really throwing them for a loop. They don't know how to deal with it, and 3 minutes on the clock, and I was kind of talking about in the pregame that the gun, or I'm sorry, not the gun, but the 4th point can really be, one that is held for a long time, and UGC now are, in the high-level leagues, and it's proven to be true, but this gun placement is so unusual, but it's so effective as it takes out the spy there. Actually, sorry, Dead Ring spy, but he got a lot of damage in the meantime. And actually, they're getting aggressive in this back stair area. Engineer goes down.
It's All Good. It's losing a lot of players right now. They were dropping 4 or 5 right there. Gonna get their respawns back pretty safely, but you don't want to do that ton. Sentry is gonna go down right now, though, for It's All Good, so they definitely want to see if they can rebuild that or something, as looking like Highpander wants to take a slow push in or something. They're moving in, a few players around the corner slowing, but it is looking like It's All Good's going to push an Uber aggressively into them right now, and they're just going to get pushed back on Highpander.
But they didn't get the Medic again. Medic is up with 90%. They did get the kills, but Medic is up with 90% Uber advantage, basically, or a little bit under that. Oh, but oh no, he's going to be taken out by Rudy, chasing him all the way back to spawn. He was literally 20 feet away from the spawn door, and Fool goes down there, giving below, again, the Uber advantage with 2 minutes left on the clock. And the gun went down just because they finally figured out that you can take out that gun from the map room. It doesn't shoot into map room. So it looks like they got that, but wow. This is looking good for It's All Good now. With 2 minutes on the clock, that's about 2 pushes that you could do, and Below already has the Uber advantage on this one, so as long as Below doesn't go down, should be their game. I mean, really, and actually, Fool has switched to the quick fix, trying to catch up. He's still a little bit behind on this Uber as the Engineer tries to jump in again. They forget the gun is in the exact same location every time, as Hildreth's opting to try to go for the Engineer. The gun's actually going to get Rescue Ranger, but he is teleporting over to the other side. Nice play by Lenny there. As Uber and Conk are going to be popped out onto the quick fix Medic. And getting a lot of damage out here, but no real deaths right now. Medic's being chased down by the Soldier. He's going to get all the way out. Scout now chasing down the Medic at 12 HP, but he's going to get arrowed by Fool around the corner. And Medic actually went down there in the exchange below, and there's only 4 up for It's All Good. 1:18 left on the clock. 8 players up for Highpander. They did get a lot of damage. Joe getting chased down by the Scout. He's going to get away, take him out. So that is good. Joe needs to come over the top. Gun goes down to a Sapper. And where is Joe? Joe is dead. And Hildreth's putting down the damage. They're going to get the cart here with 40 seconds left on the clock here. Or 50 seconds left on the clock.
Nice backstab right there by the Spy, getting the heavy. Medic's the only one on the cart. He does go down. Now we have Hildreth in the full health pack room trying to just spam people, get damage. Red Heavy's jumping back on the cart. He does get taken out of the Spy. And that's going to be a cap for Highpander right there. Nice. That was a very good play.
Wow. I did not think that they were going to get that. I really didn't. But great job by Highpander coming in with that final push and taking out Below and then being able to utilize that, and just nice picks at the end there to get the last people off of the cart. And we dropped 1 player. Looks like the Heavy for
I do believe in the middle of the game they were requesting a switch at half. Okay. I'm not sure. But, wow, we saw 2 major upsets, right? I did not expect, one, the setup on last to be so strong, because they were just getting pretty much rolled through the first few points, as they weren't really able to get a solid hold on any of them, and they were just getting continually pushed back, but they really shone in their 4th point hold right there. And then, after they started getting a little bit too aggressive, they did drop a lot of players, and Highpander just came right back and took that point with only about a minute left.
Yeah, and I think that last hold really comes down to, I got to give credit, I mean, it sounds biased here, but I really got to give credit to Lenny there, because when It's All Good pushed out aggressively with the Uber, wasn't able to get the Medic, had a big Uber disadvantage with 5 minutes on the clock. The only thing that really saved them the point was they basically DM and the gun. The gun put out a lot of work, took a lot of the focus away from the pushes, and that really helped them out. Actually, throughout that last point, like, I don't feel like that gun is a crazy hard one to take out. I mean, if they didn't really have anybody playing by the Engineer, I feel like it probably could have been Sap shot pretty easily from map room, but Highpander kind of took a while to get that gun down, and I really think that was a big reason of why that held so well.
I think it was definitely just a spot that was throwing people for a loop, because when you push into Badwater, you usually just check, under the catwalk in the garage area, because those are the 2 places you expect. And then they just started getting shot right up there from where the sentry was, and it was totally unexpected, and it took a lot of focus from players on the push and into getting the sentry down, which they weren't able to do the first few times they pushed in.
It looks like we're going to be getting a new server here. I'm not sure what the reasoning is for switching over there.
I do believe a few players said they were having FPS issues.
Okay. John, would it be possible to go on a break until we get this new server up and going? Okay. We've been talking to ourselves for a while?
No, they're already on the new server, I think you meant.
Okay.
So, what do you think needs to change the next round if you want to see It's All Good take the point?
I mean, it's all good. I mean, they had, solid defense. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that, well, they're, Zoob had a really good play on their medic early on getting the drop. I mean, that's going to screw you. When your medic drops in the first point, you're basically giving up the first 2 points. Like, unless you're somehow able to get a shot on, Fool. I mean, they actually even took the first point smartly without even committing their medic, and just bullied them out there once Below went down there. Really, I think they need to get that third point hold down. It only took them about 2 tries to get through third. But really, I think it's just their aggression on offense. I think this really showed Highpander did a really good job about kind of taking back ground, like not giving up ground easy. Like they had their sentry gun go down on first, and they were able to re-get it back up, even though they didn't really have like a significant advantage. But they saw the opportunity that It's All Good was not getting aggressive enough on them, and they decided to rebuild that. And that, that's another 2 minutes right there. And that, you could say that was the game. The game came down to 40 seconds. That hold on first point, that extra minute or two they got on that, was the difference. And I think that's kind of the difference I see with the aggression out of Highpander. They tend to like kind of spread out, take a lot of ground quickly, and they take what you give them. And I think It's All Good really needs to kind of do the same on offense. They're obviously clearly a really great team. But yeah, that's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, what did you see the difference to be?
I definitely saw a lot of aggression that they had being turned towards their defense on Encircled. We saw on the last point when they were getting picks, they would definitely like push straight in around the corner and try to get picks. They weren't always able to execute it successfully though and get the medic, and sometimes you just need to tone it down a bit if you don't think you can get the medic, because it's not worth it if you're going to lose the Uber advantage.
I'm going to see. Hold on once. I'm going to try to see if we can get some stats here for the first round. Just hold tight. What did you see? Anything you want to speak to the game? What do you think were like the most effective holds, or what do you think like comparatively the holds on the different points? Like, did you like what do you think the hold style kind of out of Highpander with having their medic not being as committed? Do you feel like that kind of worked out in their favor compared to It's All Good there?
I feel like Highpander's defense was really solid. The first point, where they just brought their medic straight back in along with the sentry, even after losing both, was solid. It bought them that minute that, like you said, possibly won them the round right there. I think a lot of their defensive aggression was well thought out and well planned, but for both teams, their third point defense was just stellar. That sentry is just unbreakable sometimes.
I'm trying so hard to find these logs. I don't know. I'm not seeing any right now here. Oh, okay, maybe found it.
And then, of course, out of last point, we saw It's All Good sentry, which definitely threw Highpander through a loop, at least for the first few pushes they made.
Okay, so here I got the stats in from the first round. The big Inso actually doing a lot of work that game, actually getting 23 kills for It's All Good. Looks like Sheepy, and I actually don't know the sniper's name. For Mellow. Looks like, I don't know, but I butchered that, so I'm not gonna go with that. But actually combining for 21 kills each. Joe getting a lot of kills and a little bit more damage than Hildred. Joe was actually playing very aggressively, from what I could see, and Solid still keeping up with Inso, only 5 kills behind on Spy. So definitely, basically they're pretty close in terms of kind of kills, it looks like, and damage output just favors Highpander just slightly. But actually, what's interesting is they got a little bit more damage out, but the kills are the same. So obviously, very, very close. But I think the biggest difference is in the stats here is that Blue, which would be Highpander, actually had 2 Uber drops. And so despite having 2 Uber drops on each team, but yeah, I mean, it just looks like it's kind of been a back and forth game. And I think that's more of what we'll see. I'm kind of curious if, Highpander will be able to finish this out 2-0, or if we're going to see It's All Good kind of bring it back and bring it to a third round. Or do they do 3 rounds in ETF2L, I believe, correct?
I think it's best of 3, yes. So Highpander could take this 2-0 if they win this round.
Yeah, and big shout out to Zoob with 4 medic picks throughout that game, though. It looks like that, let me see. I'm trying to look through stats at the same time as talking, always fun. Fool actually died 3 more times. So again, like, Highpander actually seems to kind of, with that side, has actually died more, but again, still able to get the win there. I mean, I think that just kind of speaks to what I kind of see out of their teamwork overall, is that they kind of cover up despite their medic going down a few more times. All right, looks like let's see, we might be. Do we have information yet, John? Okay.
Just reconnect to the same one.
Okay.
So we're just watching players get into the server. One more needs to come in right here for It's All Good. And then we should be on our way for the second round.
Right, sorry, I'm distracted here as I'm getting going.
Definitely a solid game, though. I don't think Highpander necessarily has any huge advantage here. They just played it ever so slightly better. It was a dead close game with only 40 seconds left on the clock when they capped that.
So I'm kind of curious, yeah, with Highpander coming out on offense here, they had a very, they would have, if they kept going straight through, they probably would have put up about a 5-minute, 4 to 5 minute time. We got 17 in the server here, so I'm kind of curious to see if Highpander is actually going to be able to finish off that final cap this time, or if It's All Good is going to get its defense together and to be able to hold for. I mean, they held 9 minutes, but that was mostly due to the last. So kind of curious if Highpander is actually going to be able to bring it together and get the necessary time, because yeah, It's All Good is just looking a little bit shaky on defense this time. So
I do think It's All Good did lose a major component of their last defense, though, after that first round with the new sentry spot that definitely threw Highpander for a loop. Highpander's definitely going to be checking that this round, so it's not going to give them as many pushes in enough time that they got last time. Any thoughts on that?
I'm sorry. So apparently, I'm sorry. Just trying to read chat here. Looks like one of the players are having some router issues. What'd you say? I'm a bad
I
caster.
said that It's All Good definitely did lose a pretty big component of their last point defense with that sentry spot, because now that Highpander saw it in use, they know how to counter it through map room and they know to look for it. So it's not going to give them as much time. What do you think on that?
That same position. I might not have been talking there. Lenny's not going to be able to use that same position just because, yeah, it was a little bit of a gimmicky spot. It's effective, but, it's one of those things where it is easy. It's not a hard gun to take out if you know how to do it correctly. So as we're waiting here, we've got 17 in the server. It looks like we have 1 waiting to get the router. So we're going to send it a little bit out here to music as we wait for this round to get going, and we will pick it back up as the next round starts. So guys, stay tuned. Hello and welcome back to Blackout Gaming TV. We are here with It's All Good versus Highpander on Badwater. It is 1-0 in the favor of Highpander. We're going to see Highpander on offense this time, seeing if they can set the time to beat. That is unbeatable if they can take it to a 2-0, or if It's All Good is going to hold tight and take it back. I'm here with Nexus. How are you doing tonight still?
Hello, I'm good. How are you still?
I am still doing great. Excited to see another matchup here. As we got Lenny actually starting to build off, as we always like to talk about the engineers out the gate. Kind of in an interesting position, building on the hillside, which I've seen this before, which is kind of like to stop bombers. But I'm kind of curious to see if he's going to hold this here, or if he's going to move it up after, you know, kind of like if this is like a temporary position, or if he's actually going to hold it here. It's held there. That'll be very interesting. I don't know how well it's going to work out, but we got Joe drinking his ham on the cliff. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I support this. I'm a fan of ham, so I support this.
Fan of ham.
But
right,
Sentry is going to be staying there, so I'm interested to watch this. Definitely not a spot you see often.
So Joe taking out Scout quickly there, trying to get through the channel. Hildreth getting ready to go through his bomb with Zoob. Last time they were able to get the medic through the first bomb, actually Zoob was. As the medic's actually opting to hold way back in the tunnel. Actually, the whole combo's holding back kind of in this garage area.
Yeah, this is a very passive hold right here.
Yeah, Zoob and Hildreth both being taken out. I don't think they're quite expecting that, as the Heavy and Pyro getting very aggressive, going to actually being able to take out Rudy on the other side here, as Dumbman's finally going to put some spam down on the cart, and he's actually going to get a decent amount of kills, just to get a couple there, as Piddock's getting taken down while eating. Hildreth is on a... coming back there, got put back into Spectator. Look like he's ready for a bomb again. Here he comes to the medic, putting down the spam down onto the medic, and not able to get anything, only getting about 30 damage down onto him. And it's all good. Much better hold, and the gun goes back to kind of more of a traditional hold here.
We did watch a very passive opening right there from It's All Good. Maybe they were trying to stop bombers and not drop their medic like they did the last time on defense. But now they moved into a little bit more of a standard spot with the sentry overlooking the cliff and the combo overlooking the sentry. More bombs coming in, and we are going to get a force out of below here.
Hildreth, I think it's Hildreth's favorite line is if they keep saying the same spot, I'll keep doing the same thing. This medic is now kind of in that traditional spot on the cliff, gets the force down, and now they're going to opt to kind of hold more passively again on this first point, knowing that Fool does have 100% Uber. Zoob and Hildreth just kind of getting aggressive here again without their medic. Just trying to do what they can.
That is Polo going down to a headshot right there, so now full advantage on Fool right now.
Plays as that gun is kind of getting picked off by... oh, the TF2's crashing.
Is your TF2 crashing? Well, we're looking
yeah, you take it up.
Okay, we're looking at a pretty standard take right here. Once again from Highpander, not expending their medic once again to take this point, playing it very smart like they did last time, very slowly and deliberately. They took the point, medic has not popped Uber. He is going to get jumped right there, but Soldier does go down. Scout's on him now, and Scout goes down as well.
He was
so
down
Fool
to
is safe.
10
health.
HP. That is insane. All he needed to do was be sneezed on. Good dodging. Good save by his team there. We actually see that we're not even getting a second hold. It's all good. Deciding, you know, kind of as we talked about in the pregame, not going for hold at all. Level 3 sentry around the corner. Getting rescue rangered. You know, even though they possibly could have held on to second, though they didn't have Uber advantage, they're opting just to get a nice third hold. Guns being pulled back. Medics coming back. They weren't able to get a pop out of Highpander like they did last time. Highpander popped on them on second for no reason, and they learned their lesson this time, coming in with 100 on Uber, but it's going to be even, as Hildreth actually went down there, or went down a little bit before, so not going to have him right away for this push, as they're getting very aggressive very quickly. Heavy goes down in that exchange. Uber coming out here, Pyro coming down on the medic, much worse Uber for Highpander. They're not getting as nearly the frags that they need to get. No gun down, and I guess they just opted for the Uber exchange. They're going to have a little bit of an Uber advantage, but not enough to make a difference, as they're just starting to build again to re-push onto this third point.
And we just watched a kind of awkward Uber exchange right there, as not a lot really happened. We saw Pyro try to move in. He did take down the dispenser like he did last round, I believe it was. He actually did that, but not a lot going down. Not the sentry, neither of the medics went down, so we're just holding on to our Ubers, and they're building up for another push.
It looks like we had a little bit of a suicide wave out of Zoob and Hildreth. And Inso goes down there. Yeah, just trying to get the force or just get some damage down. And Blow actually went down to 60 HP there, but wasn't able actually to finish him off. As Fool is going to be at 100% very shortly here, and actually has a 20% advantage, which is pushable. You can push off of that, but you have to do it right away. They're losing it as we speak. They're going to lose that advantage as Hildreth is getting ready to push in here. We're going to see another Uber exchange coming in as Hildreth is starting to push up the hill. We're going to should see the Uber coming out of It's All Good. Spam coming down onto the gun, but not enough. And Hildreth, where did he go? Pyro's getting caught in here. Steve getting caught in by the cart. Again, just another Uber exchange and nothing really happening out of it.
We saw a heavy go down for It's All Good right there, but that's about it. When the Sentry and the Pyro and the Medic are all there on defense and they have 100% Uber, you're just really not going to make the ground that you need to either get the Sentry or get the picks that you need. And we just watched pretty much both teams reset again. Both Medics stayed up, they're both building, and we're looking at another push in a few seconds.
And Salad actually is up by the gun now. He's actually able to take it out now. He actually, because he destroyed that, Lenny actually went down in the exchange there. So the gun is down, and this comms have come through. They're actually starting to get a little bit aggressive here on the cart.
And at 90%, it's looking like Fool can actually push on this while the gun is still down, though this is their opening, pretty much. They're at 100% now. They're down 4 players, though, so it's questionable as to whether or not they really want to push this down 4.
Fortunately, they do have the big classes that you kind of want to have in the push. They're getting the respawns, and until they think they have a teleport close. I hope they do on offense here, but here comes the Uber exchange coming in. Pyro coming in, blasting them back into the house, just manhandling the Dempleman. Actually, Hildreth just running over, kind of take that high ground with Zoob. As the level 2 gun is going back up, Zoob on the gun, putting some spam down. He's pretty low himself, but the gun is not going to go down with that kind of side spam. As the cart is being pushed up, Engineer sneaking on the cart. Joe trying to put some spam down, but it's just barely enough. But here comes the push, the final push. They're going to be able to take third here. And at 5 minutes and 55 seconds, it's a little bit, it's not slow, but it could be a little bit better than that. We'll see how they can get into last year, but Below has a 40% Uber advantage. But they're still pushing through, but they really have low health here as they're coming around the corner.
We did look at a pretty good take at that third point right there. They made sure to keep the Sentry gun down while it was level 2. That didn't get up to level 3, and that was solid. They were able to push it when the rockets weren't there. Uber does get forced out of Buller right here, so we're going to look at an advantage on Fool, assuming he doesn't go down, and he does. So 80% on Fool compared to Below is about 10% right now.
Yeah, so we should be seeing a pushing here not too long from now. You know, Highpander, they do a pretty good job about not waiting to get that aggression, they get it out right away. They have, like, they can kind of choose how they want to push this since they have such an Uber advantage. As Hildreth is starting to peek around the corner, getting some damage down onto the combo down there, and there still is just a level 3 gun. I'm sorry, it's in this exact same spot as last time. They did not deal with it. They're kind of rotating around as they're trying to get it. Zoom bombing in on the gun, spam coming down the gun, and looks like
we have a pause.
So yeah, so this gun, this is like an action shot from a movie right here.
We got the heavy shooting at it, the soldier jumping.
Engineer
rockets
jumping, medic
mid-air.
jumping, yeah. And
But
Lenny
do you know why we paused? I'm not sure. I didn't see any disconnects.
This was, so the pause is happening 90 seconds from now, so...
Oh, alright.
So I don't see any disconnects happening, but it's possible somebody might be having some connection issues. But yeah, so it looks like this gun is probably going to go down. Obviously, we can't see the health of the sentry gun, which is a little bit disappointing. But one thing Lenny did last time is when he did this spot, is that he had a teleporter from where he's standing that took him to the other spawn door, which is
and
actually
then he
very
would rescue
useful.
Ranger it over, which was interesting. It kept the gun up.
Yeah, it's actually like really clever, really good stuff. But this time it looks like it's going to get down because he only has the rescue Ranger up. Joe is also down on defense here, so we're kind of breaking down this moment. Wow, there's so many rockets in there. This is awesome. So not being able to get a spam down the carpet, he's about to respawn. So, you know, the Uber here, not too good out of Highpander. Again, it kind of just seems like they keep forgetting about the sentry. Like, they push in, but, like, because that gun can be spammed out basically for free. I mean, you might have to worry about your medic being picked potentially, but the sniper's on a low ground. Yeah, like if you have the correct calls coming out here, you should know that you can kind of just get that gun. It's pretty spammable from around the corner, but you just have to kind of work for it. You can't spam it from the cart. It's kind of the downside of it.
One thing is, I definitely didn't see them checking for it. I didn't see anyone try to, push in the map room and look for it. So they went in with the Uber pretty much blind. I'm assuming they thought it was either in the garage or under catwalk, just because they figured Lenny's sentry spot from the last round was just a one-trick thing and he was going to move it to a normal spot, but that's not the case, as it's right here again.
Yeah, we see actually a position out of Mookie and Lazy Bear on defense here, holding into that map room. Especially when you have no one contesting them, that gives them a lot of high ground to kind of... So right now, if they wanted to, they can go for the flank and go behind because nothing's stopping them from doing that if they want to take behind. Or they can just keep that high ground and spam down. Or actually, I mean, they're even ground with most of the players, but if the cart gets pushed through, they'll have the high ground to kind of push through. And they're also fighting from, like, 2 different angles, this is what I think is really good, is you have the sentry gun here. And this is kind of I speak to, is like... As an engineer, like I like to have the gun be opposite of my combo. The idea being that, like, if you're putting down spam, you have to look down at 2 different places of where you're being shot. So right now you have your combo in a different spot from your gun, and then you have your flank as well at a different spot, which can be a little bit risky, but I mean, just look at all the different areas they have potential to be attacked from, and if the combo pushes up the ramp here, like they can even add more to it. So I really like this holding spot out of It's All Good, but this gun's gonna go down. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. I guess I'm saying that, but as I'm saying this, I'm like, well, let's see. The gun goes down. Now, Highpander has high ground over top the combo, which is important, even though they have the flank hitting them. I don't know. Interesting. I don't know. What are you thinking about the kind of this holding style and kind of where everybody is?
Actually, well, not much time to talk about that as we do get unpaused right here. Sentry does go down. And looking like It's All Good. Holding on to this point, combo for Highpander is going to fall back a little bit. Now they're actually going to start going down the ramp right now.
And Heavy getting really aggressive on the other Heavy. Nice focus fire out of Highpander, taking down that Heavy Medic combo. I'm trying to, it's hard to see, but yeah, Medic went down there. Our HUD is going to be a little bit broken here as Heavy is pushing through the cart. Really, really solid focus fire out of Highpander right there. Scout's going to take down the Heavy on the cart, but it's not going to be enough. Mini Sentry covering the cart, only the sniper. They're going to be able to capture this. And I'm guessing the pause happened in between rounds there.
And with a 7-minute 41-second time, that's better than the last one.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
solid.
Yeah, it's like it's not bad, it's not great. I'd say that's more kind of like your average time. It's definitely beatable, but it definitely gives you like there's a lot of different points you can hold on this map to kind of chip away at that time. So let's see. I'm going to try to pull up the stats here for that last round.
Erecting a dispenser.
So Pitback's actually getting 11 kills on offense there, doing work. But actually, what I think is kind of interesting, despite that good time, actually more damage and more kills coming out of the defense there, which I guess I don't know. I never really look at one-round stats too much, so I guess I don't know if that's common for payload. But I think, for having such a disadvantage, or for having such kills in damage disparity, that I think that's kind of interesting.
So we are also looking at the passive sentry spot right here out of Highpander as well, with the sentry on top of the little garage area on first, and Medic holding under it in the garage. Interesting. This is not a spot I've seen a lot of.
I mean, like, I've kind of played around with the idea of doing this just purely to kind of stop bombers to some degree, and it's Highpander's reasoning is, I remember, like, if I know Hildreth, is that the Medic always stands on cliff. So if the Medic always stands on cliff, you know where you need a bomb to. As a soldier's going to come around here, Mookie coming around. Oh my god, what a bomb! Holy... That's a great play out of It's All Good.
Forcing the Uber and killing the sentry, that is a huge amount of work to be done right there.
He surfed perfectly into that tiny garage to 1v1 that Medic and force the Uber. I mean, Hildreth says you can't stand in the same spot again. They did it again. The soldier knew where he knew. That was a beautiful bomb. Beautiful. And yeah, looks like we're going to have Uber out of a Fool here. They're starting to get a little bit aggressive here on the cliff, it looks like, as they're going to probably be able to take this. I'm kind of curious to see how Highpander's going to handle this. They're already backing out. They're doing a passive hold on the first here as the the bombs are kind of coming a little bit over the top. Spam coming down. Gun goes down right away. Can't even rescue Ranger. They have the high ground. They're pushing him out. And Highpander is just going to give up that first point as they should.
And Uber not even being expended already here for It's All Good, so they gotta be feeling pretty good about that. Cart's gonna be getting pushed out of tunnels, and they're gonna cap first pretty easily right here as Highpander backs out.
Now, Fool does have, on defense here, does have 100% Uber ready to go.
They are going for a second hold right here.
And actually, Below went down there to a sniper shot in that exchange, so actually, they're not going to be able to take out second as quickly as they wanted to, just due to the Fool having 100% Uber advantage. I'm sorry, about 50% Uber advantage. As the Engineer is not quite building, he's just putting some spam down on the card. He's actually going to get taken out. That's not going to help them for their second hold. As Below is starting to build here, getting closer and closer, and I'm kind of curious to see where's the combo. I'm going to find the combo. Here
well,
comes
looking like Pittix is down here watching the cart, and Combo seems a little bit scattered coming out of Pander.
Fool actually tried to. I wasn't sure if he's forced there or if he got popped, but he goes down either way from Inso. I think they're trying to get aggressive onto the combo, maybe go with a flank. Hilditch, I think, got dropped in that Uber. And that aggressive Uber working against them with their combo, Hilditch just getting alive again. Going to put some spam on the cart, but this cart is captured. No medic up alive yet for Highpander, and that's gonna matter because coming into third here, Hill just being chased down by the Scout. He's getting healed. He's going to 1v1. He's still keeping alive somehow. Scout finally takes him down. Lazy Bear getting down Hildreth. No spam around the corner. No gun up for the Engineer on third, and the medic is way back at last. They're just starting to get a little bit forward, but It's All Good already has that corner, and we can see that second hold. You have to be perfect about it. You have to be perfect about the execution of getting out, but you give up third for free, and that's what happened right here. And they're going to be about 4 minutes left on the clock for the final push. That's about 4 pushes you can get in. That's definitely doable. This is kind of It's All Good. It's kind of up to them if they can win this or not now.
They definitely did work very well off the momentum from the first cap. They got the second after they killed the NG, and it was not able to set up a successful level 3. And from there they just worked, and they got third point. NG just went down again. Medic was forced, then he died, and Highpander looking a little bit sloppy on that second hold. They tried to get aggressive, and they kind of got hurt for it. They did lose their combo.
Joe coming in here, actually taking down. No, it was Mookie with the Joe. So Joe came down onto the bomb, onto Fool. Mookie came in from behind as well, just a little bit later, and was actually able to take him out. So that gives Below 100% Uber advantage. No heals on defense right now, and I'm not sure why they're not getting a little bit more aggressive right now. Here comes the Devilman finally taking the teleport. He's coming up, so we should see an Uber out of It's All Good. 3 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock. This is, kind of this push, 33 minutes. If they win this, we go into a tiebreak round. If they lose, it goes to Highpander, and they need to push sooner than later. They don't want to lose their Uber too much. Here they come out of map room, dropping down. Pyro heavy Uber with the Scout over the top. Mookie getting a kill on the sniper. Spy getting a sap on the gun. Taking down Hildreth. He goes down. Heavy in the stairwell with the medic, but the Pyro is there just kind of putting some damage down. But they're basically the only ones up. 3 up versus 6, but they're still holding on. Heavy finally does go down to a fire. Rudy's now chasing down the medic up the stairwell as the cart is being pushed, but here comes the Spy on the cart, taking down the Heavy, but we still have Joe over the top, covering spawns. Zoop's going to put down some damage on the cart. We do have a mini sentry covering the cart, though. Everybody's being thrown at the cart. 2 minutes and 37 seconds left on the clock. They need to get bodies on the cart. He'll just putting down spam. Zoop trying to get there, but he's not going to. He does, Joe, but just a little bit too late, and that's going to be around to It's All Good.
That was a lot of momentum-based pushing, and it worked for them extremely well right there. You saw a lot of very fast caps off of other caps that were just built off of, the other team having advantage just from previous pushes. That was very good.
Wow, that was a really good job, and I gotta, I think that all spawned from that final push was from Joe bombing in onto the medic, putting down that sticky spam. As the medic was holding underneath of the 4th point, taking a lot of sticky spam. Then Mookie just came in there and just kind of put one rocket on him, took him down, and that basically gave them the round right there. I think the other big thing here is that, I talked about it in the pregame, and I talked about it in that moment, but it's like the second hold, you have to be perfect in that second hold, because you saw it right there. His Fool went down. They're trying to hold. They had the Uber advantage. They tried to get aggressive with it. Hill just got dropped. In the exchange, the Uber was popped. Fool got caught in. And then if you lose second, you lose third basically. If you're medic and your big classes go down, and the other team did not lose everything, you're going to lose third for free. There's just kind of no way around it, and that's why a second hold is so risky on Badwater. That I think if they actually just kind of played more passively on second, I think they actually might have had a chance there, because they would have had a chance to hold on 3, but it's kind of just the way that it worked out. So we're coming down to wire 1-1. If I remember ETF2L rules, I believe that it's, and John, you can correct me on this, I believe it's the fastest time gets to choose which they go on offense or defense first, whoever capped it the fastest. Which would be, it's all good, I believe they capped that one. They'll definitely be the fastest, probably about a 5-minute time there on the final cap, so kind of curious to see if they're going to want to get the aggression off early or defense. Usually defense gives you, usually want defense first just purely because it gives you the, what do you want to call it? Kind of gives you the advantage of knowing, and actually that's right now is, we want to defend first, by the way, switching teams when ready. So Below's calling that out, so it's all good is go on defense here. And looks like we're going to get going here. I'm lagging out, so that's usually a good sign.
And yes, looks like we're starting right here with setup just starting and beginning. Perhaps? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
No one was moving for a minute, I was scared.
So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, everybody watching. We are at 1-1. The best two teams in Premier right now, the number 1 and number 2 teams playing against each other. Highpander taking the first round, It's All Good taking the second round, coming down to the third final round. And looks like we're getting a pause out the gate. Oh, it's okay. There we go. And now we're good to go. But it's 1-1. And it comes down to this. Predictions. What are you thinking, Nexus? Who do you think is going to take this final round?
I think Highpander, they're definitely a little bit shook up after the last round. I mean, that was kind of shocking just to lose so quickly based off of momentum. That was a solid 5-ish minute cap, I believe you said, right out of It's All Good. So they've got to feel a little bit shook, but It's All Good definitely have to also feel the pressure. You know, they're riding on their offense right here to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is going to go It's All Good's way, and I think the big reason I say that is that I think It's All Good made really good adjustments. You know, during the first round, you know, each team lost their medics kind of basically a little bit equal number of times, but the second round, I think It's All Good really adjusted. They lost a medic a lot the first game, and this game I think they've done a lot better job at protecting him. As we see the spam coming out, they're actually holding on cliffside right away this time, but they don't have a gun with them. So I'm kind of curious to see where he'll risk bomb here, if the spy's going to be able to call this out right away. But yeah, we're going to see if we can get another force, because that's the biggest thing they need right now. Is here comes Hildreth bombing down on the top, trying to get the spam down on the medic, not even close, and he's going to get taken out. Zoob's taken out, but that's okay. I mean, this is about suicides and cart pushing. The first point is, and they already are basically through the tunnel. They're about to get contested by Mookie there, actually getting taken down on the cart, so that's going to delay a little bit. But not enough, because as we've seen from Highpander, they just keep doing suicide waves until they get what they want.
And it's definitely been working out for them. Sentry's still going to be in a little bit more passive position, not moving forward as it does kill Hildreth right there as he tries to bomb him.
Actually, Hildreth and Zoob got the Uber that they needed. Again, it just try again, and they keep doing it, and it keeps working. Blow plop there, so it's going to be 100% Uber advantage for Highpander here. But the thing that's kind of a little bit different is we don't see them dropping off cliff right away. It's All Good usually kind of turned to more of a passive hold as soon as they lost Uber advantage. But they're kind of holding tight here now, finally kind of starting to back off here. And this is going to give Highpander, again, they got forced as well. I'm not sure what got the force on them there, but that's actually going to give It's All Good the Uber advantage, actually about 70% here, and the gun is going to get sapped, going to be barely kept alive. Now it goes down with the help of Hildreth. Hildreth coming over the hill. They were not able to retake the hill quickly, so despite Below's at 90%, 90%, 100% here, so we'll see if they'll be able to pull it out. But here comes the aggression of it, Lazy Bear, and the soldier coming to Mookie, coming over the top. He's going to get taken out. But yeah, just trying to get aggressive, but finally taking the ground here. And Below opting to hold on to the Uber instead of using it here to defend first, and just hold it kind of for that second, or probably going to hold it for third is kind of if they do anything of the same.
Level 1 is up on second though, so it's going to be interesting to see if they're NG does want to try to go. No, Sentry goes down right there, and I think that hallmarks them just falling back to third right here. They can't hold second.
Yeah, the Engineer's building like a level 1 kind of as a distraction a little bit on that as Highpander. Uber actually comes out. They decide to use it. Uber exchanges here. A little bit better Uber for Highpander, as they're actually also in a worse spot as high ground wing to the Soldier and Spy here. And Highpander's actually going to get the better of this exchange. You know, I guess you don't really, no real reason to hold on to Uber necessarily, as Fanny goes down there. No sniping, no pick classes for the defense here, as they're going to have a little bit, but Fool actually goes down there from a bomb from Mookie, and Uber goes back, but Below goes
does go down to a headshot
from a snipe from Solid, the Spy from behind, so medics both go down in this exchange. Level 2 gun in the window, but it's getting spammed pretty hard by that direct hit. And 2 minutes and 48 seconds left on the clock. They needed to be perfect. They had to be perfect, and this is exactly what Highpander's coming out and doing to set a tone for this game.
Wow, we're really seeing a lot of aggression from Highpander right here. Third being capped in just 3 minutes, 28 seconds. This is a fast time, and they're already trying to push in the last, trying to get aggressive and get picks here.
So Gun is up in the same spot. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me 3 times. Let's see, he's getting spammed down on the Engineer. Engineer gets taken down by the Spy. Pyro on the medic. Fool, Rudy taking down Fool there from behind. Play from Tyres. Very nice play by the Pyro there, but only 3 up. Spy, Spy, yeah, it's only 3 up on defense there, as Hildreth gets taken down by Inso from behind, but Engineer pushing the car. They're at least going to get a little bit closer. But, ooh, down goes the medic from a backstab. Solid taken down below there. And only, again, 5 up for defense here. They're just spamming down on the cart. Soldier bombing down on the cart. Mookie trying to get some. He gets with the help of the scout, gets the heavy, and he's still alive, still putting damage down. And this is going to give just enough time to get a little bit of a hold here, as minis have come out from the Engineer. Not enough time to build up, as we're going to see kind of a repush out of Fool here at 50%, about a 40% Uber advantage over Below.
And it's all good just clinging on to this last point. They had to throw their players onto the cart, and they finally got it right there. Fool at 79% though, and quickly building. And they know that. They know they have the advantage, and they're ready to push in. NG's just now switching level 3s.
Yeah, and Zoob actually came in there, bombed on Below. Perfect bomb. Zoob doing absolute work this game. Getting the medic right there. Spam coming down onto the gun. That's going to go down. But the Devilman's in a good position, getting some spam down. We got a conk out from the Soldier. Mookie taking down Fool there. Hildreth going down to Lazy Bear. And that Uber, which looks so good in that situation, actually just completely gets messed up there. And this is, I was talking about the pregame, is that if you push in and you're not spread out during your push in, but just as I say this, Sheepy and Solid come from behind, taking out the medic there below. And again, medics just cannot stay alive. Constant flakes around on this point, and Fool is going to have the Uber advantage again by about 30% once Below comes back up here. And
I don't think we've seen a medic stay alive very long with advantage for more than 30 seconds. This has been a lot of quick plays and a lot of medic drops right here. And we're watching Highpander. They want to slowly push back in. However,
Fanny
Fool's going to get taken down.
Yep. Wow, just back and forth. Hill just getting taken down by the heavy, getting a little bit in there. And again, this last hole just proven to be a little bit tough, as Soldier coming in on Below, Scout in on Below, but no, he's going to get saved out by the Sentry and his Pyro, and his Heavy. Only 2 up for Highpander as they're starting to regroup here. And, you got to wonder now if they're getting a little bit, they're just kind of doing a little bit of suicide waves. They had so much momentum going into this last point, and now they lost it all. And you got to wonder just kind of the comms going on in the channel. Is everybody calm? Is everybody collected? Are they going to be able to just get their push together they need to have? As Fanny taking out counter-sniping right there, because they really need to just calm down. They need to get a good push out here. Hildreth and the Pyro coming around, trying to get down the gun for free. Not able to do it, but they are able to take out the Spy there. And Uber advantage being pushed out here from Below, getting aggressive here. No Demo Man to help out, but Mookie's already around the corner trying to get on the medic, bombing in on him, but great dodges by Fool there, and Mookie goes down. That's going to give 100% Uber advantage to Fool here, as it looks like they're trying to figure out where they want to push from. Looks like they're going to push from window room, which makes sense. They got to get down that gun before they push in, but actually the gun did go down. Oh no, he picked it up and rebuilt it.
And now we're watching the game start to slow down a bit. Highpander, they were trying to work off all the aggression they had, and it just started to slow down after a little bit, after It's All Good finally got set up. Uber is going to come out of full right here, though, first Uber being popped. Sentry does not go down, it just gets picked up, and Uber's being pushed in, but Billow's yet to expend anything or go down. He's at 64% and still building.
Gun goes down there, really nice play, because that's about to do a ton of damage onto the car. Only 4 alive for the defense here. As Full went down there in the exchange, but so is Below, and Steve Pander covering spawn. He got him. Joe taking down. Joe goes down to Zoob. Engineer jumping down on the cart. He's got nothing left to live for. He tries to get some spam. Inso on the cart, 24 HP as the soldier's going to bomb down on top of him. No, but he gets taken down. Hildreth and the medic finally coming down on the cart, and this is just a slugfest out here. Fool down on the cart. Hildreth trying to spam down into the window. Spy gets caught out. Inso goes down by Pittix, and only 3 up. Medic, they're just going down the cart. Everybody's on the cart trying to take it down. Here comes Joe, but it's going to be a little bit too late in 8 minutes, 21 seconds. That was a 4-minute hold on last. Wow.
Wow, that was a lot slower than I initially expected it to be, coming in with a 3-minute offense on a third point. But we saw Highpander, they got a little bit desperate there. They kept throwing themselves on the cart thinking they were going to move with momentum, but the momentum just kind of started to halt and it became them just suiciding players in, and ultimately, I think being a little bit too aggressive. They probably should have slowed down and consolidated. Any thoughts on that from your perspective?
Yeah, I mean, when you push into that last point, there's so many places you can be, there's so many places you can stand, that if you do not kind of cover all the areas, you know, it's really easy to kind of just start taking spam from an area which you don't expect. We kind of saw that, and then when you start pushing in one by one, you know, we see this, I know that feeling as when you're playing Highlander, where you're like, you're so close, you had such advantage, and you try to push through, and then you just don't get it, you know?
And they
like,
just wanted to make it work, but they couldn't. They were just getting spawns one by one, and it just resulted in a lot of extra time being fed right there to It's All Good. And they're going to have a pretty cozy time to push on right here. 8.5 minutes, that's nothing to sneeze at. They have a lot of time to work with here.
So you see the gun kind of in a traditional place, kind of usual stuff here, as we are just kind of getting the, Hildreth has kind of been waiting to, they kind of wait to get their bombs in here, as Medic's holding in the exact same, in the garage area with the sandwich. As the soldier's bombing in here, trying to do the exact same thing, gets one rocket onto the medic, but he's going to go down. Here comes Hildreth trying to put down spam, but he's actually going to get taken out as well. And Joe did go down, but it's probably not going to make enough of a difference. As the dispenser down. Important pick there.
Huge picks.
As we're going to see a reset, as another suicide wave is going to come in here. Soldier actually is in the wrong spot. Mookie...
Cart's getting pushed very far right here.
Yeah, actually, really, and the gun is not actually really covering it. And finally, the pyro coming in here. A lot of aggression coming out of It's All Good, trying to get that medic force, but still not able to get it full. A Spy gets caught out by the gun, Inso goes down, and we're kind of just, again, waiting here. It's All Good, just trying to get that force in the medic before they do anything. And Demo getting denied, Soldier getting denied. And this card is in such a position, I mean, there's a scout covering it, but you could, just touch it. The gun doesn't cover it, but here comes the Uber comes in. Uber finally countered as the medic gets popped back up. Gun is still staying up. Rescue Ranger doing its job as Hildreth is going to come down onto the cart from behind it. Much better exchange. It's all, for Highpander here. As Soldier bombing in, he's going to get taken out right away, and it's all good. I mean, they struggled in the first round on the first point, and it looks like they're struggling again.
They definitely did get shut down right there. When they weren't getting the picks or the forces that they wanted, they just kind of decided to meet them Uber v Uber, and it didn't work out for them right there, losing a lot of players, getting their spawns back, and we're just looking at a reset again.
Again, Joe came down for a bomb, trying to get the medic there. I mean, we're just, Highpander is just doing an excellent job of not letting their medic take damage, not letting their medic get forced. I mean, that's like one of the biggest reasons that this goes down. And then also, just the engineer's doing a good job. Ninjunin is doing a good job of keeping his gun alive as well. As we see a bomb, again, coming in here, kind of coming over the top. The cart's actually been rolling back into the tunnel. Gun goes down from the heavy here. Medic actually goes down from the heavy. Wow. What a great
And
play.
these are the picks they needed right now. It's all good. They're down a lot of players, though. They're down 5 right now, so it's questionable. They don't want to push that. But these are the picks they got, and the NG's already rebuilding his sentry. It's going to be hitting level 2 any second right now.
Yeah, and Highpander not giving up this point. They're not giving up quickly at all. The card actually is still, it has not been touched for the longest time. Lazy Bear finally taking up on Sheepy on the cart there. Lenny getting taking out Zoob as they're pushing up the cliff. Medic's actually down to 15 HP. Engineer being chased, gun goes down, as we would expect. Pyro goes down there, but what Highpander did there is by holding so aggressively, they forced the Uber out and let Fool kind of keep his Uber as the Pyro's trying to chase, but he knows he can't chase into that. And they're going to take this cart, but 5 minutes for the next 2 points, next 3 points, I should say.
It's definitely a scary time. That was a 3.5 minute hold on the first point right there. I mean, they broke it, but they've got to be feeling pressure, just taking that long just to get first down.
And Mookie coming over there trying to get a bomb on Fool, but again, Fool doing a good job of keeping alive. So much spam coming down on the cart, and oh my goodness, so much spam coming down the cart. A couple getting taken down. Just look at the health. Barely holding on to it, but they might be able to capture this cart. There's not a lot of spam down. Hiltrist is down. You can't spam from around the corner. Scout's going to kind of peek the cart, and they're opting just to give up second and get a nice hold on third here.
Highpander extremely aggressive right there, holding around the corner, making sure they make room for their engineer to build, and they are just not giving up space very easily or without a fight or without picks. It's all good seeing this right now. They really have to fight for all the ground they're building right now.
Gninso was caught out there on offense. I mean, that's a really important pick that Highpander, Highpander got right there. As the Uber's actually coming in, I guess I wasn't sure if the medic was forced. He was down to 70 HP, but that's actually going to give a huge Uber advantage to It's All Good here, as Hiltrith is holding fairly aggressively, putting spam out from even getting close up to the tracks, as they're kind of just trying to figure out how they want to push this. There's 3 minutes and 43 seconds left on the clock. If you purely push this cart, it's about a minute to a minute 30, regardless of just if your pushes are successful or not. So here we come in, below pushing in with the Uber underneath. Pyro trying to air blast them back, but they're holding so passively they're not going to be able to do anything. Gun actually just a little bit around the corner, gets Rescue Rangered back, and he's actually going to bring it back around. Heavy Pidox holding up there, Soldier coming in, taking out the gun. Really big play. Pidox dropping down on the cart, going to be putting down the spam, and wow. They are the janitors because they just cleaned that up. Can I make that joke? No, I can't. But I did. And
you did.
I did. And that Uber, that play right there might have just won the game. Those Scouts getting a little bit of time on the cart, and it's all good. They needed to be perfect there. It looked good, but because Highpander were so spread out, they were able to drop down on the cart, protect it when it was needed, and I mean, with 100% Uber advantage, it is not looking good.
It isn't. There's not a lot of wiggle room here, and they need to push fast and furious right here, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to dry push it. Sniper's getting extremely aggressive right here on offense. Fanny trying to make picks. And we're watching It's All Good just lose a lot of players again. Only 4 up.
They're in desperation mode now. When you see like those solo Ubers like that, no coordination, you know that comms are cluttered, they're frustrated, and just they need to have one good push. Like they can technically do this, but they need to have a push together. They need to get that suicide wave out or something. Either a drop on Fool, that's ideally what they need. But with this cart rolling back, 2 minutes left on the clock, It's All Good might be handed their first loss of the season.
And yeah, it's looking like a pretty solid defense right here out of Highpander. They're feeling good. They've seen 2 desperate-looking pushes right here out of It's All Good, and they're just playing defense like they have been every round here.
And Uber comes out of here from Fool, getting aggressive below at 80%, 90% now. So they'll be able to re-push right away, but again, that cart basically has to be non-stop push. They have to go right now. Here they come up through the main entrance, putting down the spam down on Hildreth. Medic getting out, actually getting down to 80 HP. Soldier bombing up. Heavy up top, getting caught in 130 HP. Gun still up. Gun finally does go down. Heavy still behind though. He's going to get taken out eventually. Yes, he does, but here comes this engineer goes down on the cart. And only 5 up here for each team, with Fool having a 30% Uber advantage here. Hilterslip, though, that's the most important part, being able to put down that spam onto the cart as Joe gets taken out. No Demoman for that offense. that's gonna really hinder their ability to push here, as Fool is almost at 100% Uber advantage. 40 seconds left on the clock, as Inso is just trying to get some time on the card. Here comes Spooky coming in, bombing over the top, but he can't find the medic.
Fool does get picked right there by the sniper, so right now Below's at an 85% advantage, and they need to push this card. It needs to have ×3 pretty much constantly at the point. And with 30 seconds, we see an Uber coming in. No one's on the cart right now. NG's going to be running back, Scout's going to be running back. They're trying to get players on it. They need to push this. It's going to be close. This is going to be down to the wire right here.
17 seconds left on the clock. They have to be perfect. You don't have to even kill the people. You have to get on the cart. 11 seconds on the clock. Cart is so close. 8 people on the cart. Can they do it? 7, 6.
And It's All Good pushes it in. That is amazing.
That medic pick headshot. Wow.
From the brink right there. 3rd point with a minute and a half left, and It's All Good pull through, and they push it through. That was a stellar offense, played very perfectly.
That was probably one of the most intense games I have ever seen. Just so down to the wire for the 1st and 3rd round. Wow, that was a great game. I can't believe It's All Good pulled it off, but they did. I mean, they got the medic pick when they needed it. They pushed 3rd when they needed to. You know, sometimes it's one of those things where it's like desperation can have one of 2 effects. That desperation either is going to get you to play absolutely perfectly, because in Highlander, aggression almost always wins the game. And sometimes that'll force you to be aggressive, and sometimes it'll just make you suicide one by one. And we kind of saw both sides of it out of It's All Good, but ultimately they chose the correct side to get the victory. 2-1 going to It's All Good versus Highpander.
And that does mean It's All Good is going to get guaranteed their playoff slot, and they're going to remain undefeated this season, which is a huge accomplishment.
Is that ever... I guess I don't know. John, do you know if anybody's ever done that in ETF2L before? Had a perfect season. That they haven't lost? Like a game? Oh, they actually usually... It's not a... Okay. So yeah, so that's kind of the final result here. I don't know, what are your kind of thoughts on that final round there, Nexus?
I definitely thought the desperation pretty much played into it. Like you said, the 2 effects they can have definitely motivate teams, and right there we saw the desperation just had them absolutely on the ball, playing perfectly, and it was just great to watch and cast.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to take a look at the logs here, see if anything really stands out, but, you know, it just seems really just kind of comes down to those clutch plays. I mean, you know, I don't know. I'm very surprised by that result. I thought Highpander would be able to hold out for that, but just barely losing all over that. And yeah, just a really great game overall, and just It's All Good really coming together. Nothing really stark coming out of this. Piddock's getting a lot of kills actually for Highpander, and Sheepy also doing a lot of work, as along with the sniper as well. But Benny, though, despite getting less kills, got the kill when he needed it on that last point. And Fool actually, then Fool and Below actually were even in their deaths, 8 deaths each. It basically was timing. When did you die? Because I complimented Fool early in the game for actually doing a really good job of keeping alive despite all the pressure, and just was that last play that really made all the difference. So, any final thoughts before we head out here?
It was just a pleasure to cast. It was a great game, definitely down to the wire, extremely close. I'm gonna be happy to cast these teams in the future if I'm able to. Definitely 2 names to watch out for, these 2 teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be. I'm sure they'll meet up in playoffs later in the season, and it should be a fantastic match again. All right, well, I am Sigafoo here with Nexus and John on camera. Thank you guys all for coming out, watching the game. Thank you for supporting Blackout Gaming. And you guys, everybody, have a great night.